Good morning and welcome. Welcome to my live stream, Fight CPS, with your host, Bob Pace. And hang on to your children. This is a live stream that is found anywhere there's Wi Fi. It's a worldwide live stream. I've talked to 22 countries and over 50 states, including the District of Columbia. And that's 1,000 over 500 people, over 1,500 people that either text or called in about their CPS case. What I call the CPS is the Child Protection System. It's a government entity that was created by Congress in '62 and instructed social service to get a group of social workers to protect our children from neglect and abuse. Further, if they need to break the family apart, they're supposed to do family reunification. But a lot of the CPSs out there don't do that. There's a lot of rogue CPS agencies that'll mislead you and taking down to a very frustrated life with your family broken up and your homes lost and all your money that you saved gone. Now that is a very, very terrible, distressing to say that, but it's happened to me. I too have been fighting CPS for 15 years. And in 2010, they started harassing me and my family, saying that my wife and I were not taking care of our children, all because of the basis of a layperson. My in-laws, my wife's mother, father, 3 sisters and brothers were calling from Ohio to California, stating that we weren't taking care of our children. We weren't feeding our children. We didn't have utilities turned on. We weren't taking them to school. We weren't giving them baths. They said all this stuff. And this went on, week after week for 3 years, actually for 5 years. Is from 2010 to 2015 when they finally forced me to go home and open my home so that they could have their group of people try and find something wrong with us. That's how bad and how hungry CPS is for money, especially the Orange County Child Protection Service. That CPS system is very corrupt. They got a hold of the police, got a detective to track me down. I just had picked up my young son, who I do that on a daily basis, from his class at school. And I was going to go pick up my wife downtown, and I was pulled over for a false traffic violation in order for the detective to talk to me and ordered me to go to my home. Now, if I knew what I knew now, I would have told them either arrest me or write me a ticket, but I'm not going to my home. I'm picking up my wife. And that is a mistake that I made. There's a lot of mistakes I made, like talking to them, trusting them. And when I came home, they had those 5 firemen standing in front of my yard, actually in a planter, along with 2 code enforcement and 3 social workers and 2 uniformed policemen. Along with the detective, they ordered me to open up the home. And this was the sadness, because if I know what I know now, you never open up a home to strangers, including the police or social workers. There's only 3 ways to get in your home. Either you let them in with permission, or one of your family members does, or there's danger going on. The child is being hurt, and you can hear from the sounds that the child is being hurt. They will come in. And the third way is they have to have a warrant. a court-ordered warrant signed by a judge on a legitimate day, and a legitimate orders are listed on the court warrant. But if you don't answer the door and keep quiet, they will disappear, and then you can investigate who it was. If someone really gets a hold of you, there's something called the U.S. mail. They can mail it to you, or they can call your phone number and leave a message. That way, you need to seek an attorney. My rule number one is you got to have an attorney who's trained in juvenile law, family law, and dependency law. Dependency law is what CPS uses. It's a courtroom, but it's also a kangaroo courtroom. At least mine was. The judge, who is elected by the people, didn't have the background to do family law. I mean, his background was in auto accidents and collision claims. He knew nothing about family reunification or families or how to help out a family. So I had, this judge who's supposed to be a referee and make a determination based on what the plaintiff and the defense, say statements there. Anyway, it was so bad that most of the time I wasn't allowed into court at all. I wasn't allowed into the courtroom. Anyway, there are many things you can do in this room. One of the first things you can do is you can text me a message, such as a comment or a question about CPS. Please state me your first name, your city or your county, and the state. Also, if you're from outside of the United States, your country, so that I could also help everyone that has a CPS case. Please tell me about your CPS case from beginning to where you're at, and I'll do my best to try to help you with your case. So please text me a message. I like the interactive of that. Also, if you'd like to be a guest on my live stream, all you have to do is email my show producer. It's Grace at vincentwdavis.com. Grace at vincentwdavis.com. And she will give you a link to StreamYard, which is a software application I use to broadcast on YouTube. You go to that link, it takes you to a YouTube channel with StreamYard as a software application. The room, by the way, is called CPS Defense Attorney Vincent Davis. There are 8 rooms, 7 of them are Facebook, and 1 is YouTube. And that YouTube is the one that I talk on. Also, she will tell you what you can do and not do on the live stream, such as no eating or smoking, or the use of names. So text a message or email Grace at vincentwdavis.com. The third way is my phone number. And you can call in right now at 626-698-0990. That is my office number, and it's set to take your call. Now, we have different topics all the time, and I like to help you with your case as much as talk about my case and my 5 rules that I've come up with that will help you. Now, every day we have some interested person who will call in, and I really like it when someone else talks about their case, can help one another. Now, I'm on 7 days a week. In the morning, I'm on Monday through Friday at 10 a.m., and on the weekend, I'm on at 8 a.m. Then in the evening, I'm on at every 7 days at 7 p.m. Those times are all Pacific Standard Time, the West Coast of California. They're 1 hour live stream. So that's 14 live streams a week. So all you do is pick one of those, email my show producer, Grace, at vincentwdavis.com. That's all you have to do is pick one of those show times. And you can be a guest. Now, another number I have on the screen, 888-888-6582, is the law offices of Vincent W. Davis. When you call in, make sure you tell the people to answer the phone there, the receptionist, that Bob Pace sent you. And you can find out a lot of things by calling the number. One, you can talk to Mr. Davis about retaining him. Make sure when you talk to Mr. Davis, you tell him that Bob Pace sent you. 2, if you want to get a books, they have a list of books you can purchase. Our latest book is The Grandparent Guide of Adopting Their Grandchildren, a step-by-step guide. And that is now $9.99. And with my discount code of PACE, PAC, all capital letters, 50, you get it for half off. That's PACE 50, all capital letters. You get the book for less than 50%. Also, you can find the show times of the live stream, not only for me, but for the other people that do live stream too. Mr. Davis does some live streams all the time. He does a morning one, usually at 6:30. He does a Saturday morning one, usually at about 10:30. And then he has one during the week called Office Hours. Anyway, he's here to help you. And by the way, if you call in or you are a guest on my live stream, you're eligible for a free 15-minute private consultation via Zoom with Mr. Davis. He'll talk to you about your case. And all you do is make a list of questions and then list them in hierarchy of the most important first. And he'll ask, he'll answer. He's not a clock watcher, but he'll give you a good 15 minutes of his time to help you with your case. There's another way you can talk to Mr. Davis for 30 minutes. I've gotten him to do a special deal for 30 minutes. It's $60. You pay with your credit card and you go to the website canley.com/app/WD/Bob Pace. And there you use your credit card, you reserve your 30 minutes and pay the $60, and he'll talk to you for a good 30 minutes. So it's a 15-minute session is free, and a 30-minute session is only $60. His rate for being an attorney is $500 an hour. And if you have a case in LA County, the retainer is about $5,000. So that's another way you can talk to him. You can talk to him for free for 15 minutes if you call in or you're a guest on my show, or $60 for 30 minutes. There's another website called the stand.store, and you can get the Grandparents Guide there and other books and other coaching costs of he can do coaching online through Zoom coaching. You type in the https://stand.store/attorney VWD. And you'll get that one website that'll give you a lot of helpful there. Another website is his main website. It's https://vincentwdavis.com. That website is a good one, and it has all about his law practice and his law firm. I'm going to put my number back up because I pretty much covered everything that needs to be discussed. Now, this room is made possible by you guys coming in and talking and helping me. I love the emojis you do. Thank you for the thumbs up today. That was from Lori Hiller. Lori Hiller is someone that has been on my show since the beginning of my show 18 months ago. Doesn't say much. She talked to me a couple months ago, but she had an awful bad case of CPS. Welcome, Colina Maybe. I think you talked to me last week. Yeah, you said you spoke with you last week, and I just wanted to ask you, what is your opinion on CPS not speaking to the kids the entire time since February? And now courts approach you May 5th, and they suddenly were at the house till after 8 p.m. 2 days ago, and again today. They made them miss school during state testing to speak to the worker again. Wow, that's a heavy one. First of all, CPS is notorious for interrupting school. They don't care about school. They try to have your kids go to school nearby the foster care family if it's a group home, or foster care family if it's a single home. They try to put you in other schools, which may not be beneficial. A state testing day is very, very important, and you should not miss school. And that's wrong that CPS does that. That outfit, and I don't know where you're at, Colleen. I need to know where you're located. What part of the world, Colina, are you located? And that would help me determine whether that's a bad area or a good area. But I don't trust CPS. I don't believe in CPS. Now, I'm not saying there aren't CPSs that I believe in or trust, but the ones that I've talked to, and over the 1,500 some people of you told me how bad CPS is. It's bad. It is bad. Now, I don't know how many government CPS systems are, but there's one in every county and every state. So if a state has 15 counties, there'll be 15 CPS entities. They're supposed to protect your children from neglect and abuse. And there is a lot of cases that are neglect, and abuse. So it is a hard job to uh, form it and to take care of the needs of the children. And the children should never be left in the dark. I think that's one of the things they do, which is called alienating the parents from the children, and the children alienated from the parents. Alienation and trafficking is illegal. CPS is the only agency that gets away with trafficking children. Everyone else is punished. Same thing going alienating children from families. That's against the law. And there should be some repercussions regarding that. Thank you, San Bernardino County. Now I remember San Bernardino County. Well, I don't know if you have an attorney, but I'd strongly recommend you speak to Vincent W. Davis. He's been practicing fighting CPS for 39 years and got back thousands of children. He's also done civil lawsuits both in state and federal court. God bless. That's great news. They're giving you back 3 of the 5 kids. What are the ages of the kids, Colina? What are the ages? Wow, a 1-year-old, 11-year-old, a 13-year-old, a 16-year-old, and a 17-year-old. Why are they keeping the baby? What was that you're accused of? What neglect or abuse were you accused of? What are some details about neglect or abuse? Hold on 1 second, please. I'm sorry I had to step away. I was hearing some loud noise outside and they're cutting down a tree. So, Colina, maybe in San Bernardino, why are they trying to keep your baby, your 1-year-old baby? I mean, taking care of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 children is a lot of hard work. And you're a remarkable mother that is helping there. Is there a father with the children? Is the father involved with the 5 children? Is the father involved with the 5 children? They said we let her be unsupervised with her mother at a parenting class. They made her attend, which never happened. We have a CPS attorney. They only have an open case on the baby and the 16-year-old, but they took all 5 of my mom's grandkids. Now, Colleen, are you the mother of the children? Oh, you're the auntie and no father. That's a hard thing to do. That's a hard thing to do. No father and the auntie. Why is the mother not able to take care of the children? What has the mother done wrong? Also, um, the attorney you have, is it a professional juvenile law, family law, dependency lawyer, or is it a court appointed attorney or a public defender? Well, when you say it's a CPS attorney, is it an attorney that you hired or is it a court appointed? Because, you know, I want to make sure you have the right attorney. I'm glad that the um, grandmother got approved to be a foster by the county. Okay, that's good. I mean, after the grandma was approved to be the foster parents, they still took all 5 children. Colina, would you like to call in to my number at 626-698-0990 so we can talk back and forth easier? All right, that's you got a good retainer then. All right. It tells me I hope that attorney's a good attorney. I really do. Anyway, if you could call me at 626-698-0990, be much helpful. Be much helpful. For all you listeners who are just coming in, I'm sorry for the background noise. I'm doing this live stream from home, and the landscaper is out there removing a tree, and I guess they're going to put a new tree in. But I apologize for the background noise. Hello, Derek Lyons. And where are you from, Derek? What part of the world are you from? Colina, it'd be nice if you could call in. The auntie of the children could call in and talk about it. It'd be better that way, too. Derek Lyons, again, a warm welcome. What is your CPS case about? What do you have with CPS that I can help you with? Good morning and welcome. I'm Bob Pace with the live stream, um, fighting CPS, and hang on to your children. How can I help you?
Hi, my name's Alexandra. I just need some advice. I'm going through a really hard situation right now, and we had a hearing yesterday, and they're telling me that my daughter's father is not allowed to see her
Okay.
until they get his drug test results. They made me do a drug test. I passed. And he offered to do one, but they told him for whatever reason that he didn't have to. And so he didn't go to do it. But then they thought that he was hiding from doing it. So now they're saying that he's not allowed to see her. There isn't a court order put in place yet, but my lawyer, so we both have court-appointed lawyers, and right now I have a consultation booked with a private attorney for this Monday because I realized I need one. And they're basically trying to say that they're going to get a court order about visitation. So he's not allowed to see her at all right now, and they want a court order specifying what exactly we're going to do, but they're waiting on his drug test. They told him he didn't have to do the drug test, and then he did. So they're telling us different things, and I just am really frustrated and don't know what to do.
Well, you did the right thing by calling into my show. I'm glad that you have found me, and I give you a warm, warm welcome because I do try to help people. I've been doing this now for 18 months, and I do this twice a day, 7 days a week. And I didn't catch your first name. What is your first name?
My first name's Alexandra or Alex.
Okay, Alex or Alexandra. Glad to meet you. And what particular city or county are you in?
I'm in Washington County, Pennsylvania.
Okay, so you're in Washington County. Now, what major city?
Pittsburgh.
Okay, gives me kind of an idea of the area there. I have talked to people from
Yeah.
Pennsylvania, and there are rogue CPS entities. The purpose of why they're doing what they're doing is to keep confusion on your part and to get money from you.
Yeah.
They want to kidnap your children. They want to traffic your children into foster care. And how many children are we talking about?
I have one daughter, and she is 19 months.
Oh, a little infant then. Okay. And I'm so sorry to hear that. As far as the are you are the biological father mother are you guys married?
No.
That's okay. That's not I'm not saying that's a bad thing. The only trouble is when you're not married, there's certain rights that you don't have and do have, and so now you guys are both using the court appointed attorneys. Now you could have got your real attorney, somebody who's trained in family law, juvenile law, and dependency law, because the court appointed attorneys don't have time for your case. They work for CPS. Right. They have a caseload of 30 or more clients, so they don't have time for you. So it's kind of worthless. I'm glad you're consulting an attorney, but it's very important if you're going to hire an attorney that you know their background. They should have they should have a juvenile law, a family law, and a dependency law background and have fought CPS and gotten children back. Also, they should have also maybe had experience of fighting them in civil court. Once the case is done, you can sue them for violation of your civil rights or constitutional rights. So if you have an attorney that does lawsuits against CPS that has fought CPS, then your chances are really good. Now they're going to be expensive. I know in California that my attorney that I have here, and he'll go to Philadelphia, but he's got per diem he's got to cover the cost for. But he's $500 an hour, and he has a $5,000 retainer. So that's to start off in LA County. So that gives you kind of an idea of what you're going up with there. And try to get 3 attorneys. Try to call 3 attorneys that have the background in juvenile law, family law, and dependency law. Those are so important. You know, a immigration attorney is not going to help you. A divorce attorney is not going to help you. A criminal attorney is not going to help you. You need one that's schooled very critically in dependency law, which includes family and juveniles.
Okay.
And so, you know, you got to make the calls. Also, you need to follow my show. I'm on twice a day, 7 days a week. So you should be able to hit me sometimes there. So I want to help you out there, Alexandra. Now,
thank you.
I have other people on my show that have said some things. Derek Lyons, I have no idea where you're from, but the father hit me. All right. Derek Lyons, are you a child? Are you the father of the child? You said that the father hit me. So if you're a child, that's okay. You can talk to me on this live stream. I'll try to help you out. I need to know about where you're from. And Colleen says you're available. It says I'm unavailable. I shouldn't be. I don't know why it says that. Let me see my settings on my phone because it should say that I'm available because do you not just call me right now?
I don't know if that's the same person as me.
No.
can I ask you another question?
Yes, please do. I was checking my phone settings, and I don't see
Oh,
why people can't call me right now. I don't understand that. Go ahead, ask your question,
um,
and I'll try to help you, Alexandra.
yeah. So they're saying that they are going to have a court order for this, and that I'm going to get in trouble if I'm caught like seeing him or if he's caught seeing the baby, and they're going to take her away from both of us because I failed to protect her from him because they're saying that he's on drugs even though he's fine, but he just has to go in and do that drug test.
Okay, okay. Well, yeah, they're going to try to do that because right now they're trying to get $20,000 for your child per month. It's all about making money.
Yeah,
Now, the
right.
person named Derek Lyons, who's on my live stream, is 13 years old. He's a boy from Colorado. If your dad has hit you, what kind of hurt was it? If it's a swat on the bottom, or is it a physical abuse? Do you have bruises or marks from your dad? And if you're being hit by your father, you need to call 911 so that they record it. If your father is physically abusing you, Derek, you got to call 911 and say your dad has caused bruises from him hitting you physically. Now, corporate punishment, which is a spanking on the bottom, is still permissible, but it should not be excessive enough to cause welts, or it should not be enough to cause the blood to break or bruise or anything on there. So I don't know about your situation there, Derek, but you're safe right now in this room by talking to me. There's lots of people in this room that will help you. Okay, Alexandra. So how long ago did this happen when they came to your house? How did it start? Who called in CPS on you?
It was someone from the hospital. So he went into the hospital and they drug tested him there. And he had tested positive for something. So because of that, they called CPS into the hospital and they asked a bunch of questions. They made me do a drug test, which I passed. So they said that I was okay to leave. But then after that, they showed up at my house and I didn't let them in. So that's why they decided to file for dependency.
Well, you don't have to let anybody in. It's your castle,
Yeah,
and you could have
that's why
you
I did.
and it's and again, all you have to do is contact an attorney, and the attorney needs to be present. You can tell the social
Mhm.
worker if you accidentally talk to them. You can tell them, I need to have my attorney present if this is a legal matter. And if they're accusing you of
Yeah,
something wrong and it's legally, then you are constitutionally allowed to have representation from a lawyer during all proceedings. So this is a legitimate request for attorney. And they got to be patient. And you just said, I'll meet with you when I have my attorney.
yeah. So that's where I made the mistake because I did not do that, and I just didn't let them in. I don't have a lot of money, so I really didn't know what to do. But now I realize that it's escalated, and I'm gonna have to just pay whatever I need to keep my daughter here. And it's been really stressful trying to navigate everything.
I know it is. I know it is. And I give a warm hug out there to you, Alexander. I can tell you in your tone of your voice how hurt you are by all this. And it will all work out. It's a it's a temporary hurt. It sounds awful, but long if you document every step of the way. You take good notes.
Yeah.
You write down things that happen called incidents. Everything happened as an
Yeah.
incident. And with that incident, you put down the location or the phone number of the incident, the date and time the incident took place, and who's involved, the people, and that goes on the first line of your notebook paper. Your second line is a summary of the incident, and your third line is the results of the incident. Now, if the incident's still ongoing, you'll leave that third line blank and fill it in later. But you do that for every incident you have, whether it's with the police, the social workers, your children, the school, whoever the incident's about. This collection of incidents will help you with your case because you won't remember everything. You won't remember everything.
Yeah. So I did record when they came to my house. So I do have videos of that. And they came a couple times, and I didn't have any contact with them until yesterday at the hearing. And, well, actually before that too with the court-appointed attorney, but now I'm looking to get a private attorney because I realized that after all the confusion that happened, they're really not going to help us. So I need someone that can actually figure out what's going on and help me and get this done with.
You will, and by keeping track and documenting the incidents, videotaping, and everything you got there, that's also helpful information for the lawyer that you may
Yeah.
acquire there. Now, I have someone new in the room called Intended Eve. Welcome, Intended Eve, and good morning to you. I have no idea where you're at, so I can't help you with the website of your CPS complaints. Where are you? Now, Intended Eye is asking Derek, why did your father hit you? Good question, Intended Eye. You know, we all in anger. I hope your dad was not in anger when he hit you, because if he harmed physical harm to you, then he can be in a lot of trouble with CPS, with the child protection system. But I'm telling you, to always call 911 first, because CPS will lie, the police will lie, but 911 won't lie. It's a public service that they document everything down. What has happened a lot lately, people have called the police first or CPS, and things get lost or misrepresented. But when you call 911, they'll ask you what the emergency is, and you say that your dad hit you physically too hard to cause a welt, and then know who the contact. They'll know who the contact. Now, attended Eve, can you tell me where you're from? It would really help me with your answer about making a complaint against DCF workers. You're from California. Okay. Attended Eve. All you have to do for DCF, the website there, are you from LA County? I think I may know who you are. All you have to do, and you have an attorney, Vincent Davis, who's defending you, you said. So all you have to do is, making a complaint to DCF is not going to help your case. You have to go to the civil rights coordinator in Sacramento, California. Okay, back to you, Cassandra. How long ago did all this happen?
It first started a little over a month ago now.
Okay, so they're collecting their money. They got their $20,000 per child, so they're happy with their money. I know you don't know this, but they make trillions of dollars. The rogue CPS entities do off parents, not from the parents, but they get money. The federal government gives billions of dollars to the state, and the state gives millions of dollars to the county. It's $1 trillion business.
Yeah.
It's $1 trillion business. It's a lot of money that they get, and so I know that social service is being investigated by Doge, trying to find out if there's problems there. They're probably going to find out the problems that CPS has because there's no accountability of the money they ship around. When that $1 billion goes
Right.
to the state, there's no accountability for that billions. And the millions go to the counties, the same thing true. So it's sad. It's all about money, is what a lot of the rogue CPS entities are all about, is about taking money from families and from kids and so forth. It's sad. It really is sad there. Um, you're welcome, intended Eve. You're welcome. But you make your complaint to Sacramento to the civil rights coordinator for trouble with the DCFS. I imagine you're in LA County. That's what they call their CPS. The Child Protection System in LA County is called the Department of Children and Family Services. And I know that they're very corrupt and they're really bad. They just settled a lawsuit for $4 million that they were sued. So, it's all about money. And I hate to say that because CPS should be about families, about helping out families. For instance, if they come out and investigate families, they should say, how can we help? What is the problem? It's right now they come out and they want to put your fangs into you and they want to steal your children. They want to kidnap your children, traffic your children because they know that's money. As soon as they have a child, they call the state, they get a number. As soon as they get a number, they get their money and they get lots of money. Last night, I was told that the incentive law that was passed by Bill Clinton, the president in 1994, gave CPS entities $35,000 from the federal government for having kids adopted into foster care. They're trying to railroad family reunification, and President Bill Clinton signed it into law, and that was in 1994. And that's wrong. The first step when a family is broken apart should be family reunification because the best parents to raise children are the biological parents. The best parents to raise children are the biological parents. So, Cassandra, I know it's a hard battle because you're limited on your income and it's hard to fight with your income the way it is. I know it is.
Yeah. So right now, they continued the case for 45 days.
All right. When's your next court appearance?
I didn't get the date yet for the next court date.
Okay. And what is that court date about? Do you know what it's about?
I don't know at this point because now they're throwing out new stuff that...
Oh, they are. They're going to try to bring up more stuff. By the way, you need to find out from your court-appointed attorney when that date is and what the case is about.
Okay.
You need to do your homework on that case because it's now May 1st and that court date's coming up soon. And you got to prepare because you're dealing with a very corrupt agency there in Pennsylvania. Washington County has a bad CPS service there. They are corrupt. I'm sorry to say that.
Yeah, that's what the first lawyer I talked to said, so I believe it.
Well, not all CPS is bad. We do need them because there are children that are abused. There are children that are killed. This morning, I have a child who's 13 years old and his dad hit him. And I'm trying to find out if it caused any marks or welts or anything in there. I also told him to call 911. And by 911, they're more honest and they're more documentation. If you call CPS, they may escalate it and blow it up. The police will do the same. So, anyway, I know it's hard. It's hard when you're investigated by an entity that you don't know about. We're not born with a manual of how to fight CPS. And what I've tried to do for the last 18 months, twice a day, 14 days a week, is try to share you what worked best for me to get my children back. I have 5 rules I've come up with that will help you get your children back. And one of those important rules is documentation. I didn't document anything, and by 6 months, I couldn't remember. So it's really important that you
Yeah.
do. It's real, real important that you do.
So, what are your 5 rules that you go by?
Okay, that's great. I'm glad you asked that because they are recorded, but I'll gladly go over them again because everybody needs to hear them. And so, um, let me um, rule number one, and that's the most important one, is to always get yourself a professional attorney who has a background in juvenile law, family law, and dependency law, who has fought CPS and gotten children back. An added plus is to get an attorney who also has done civil lawsuits when your case is closed and won money back from CPS. With the answers to those two questions and also speaking to those attorneys. Get at least 3 references with the attorneys. Get 3 people that you could call and talk to about what kind of attorney that person is, he or she is. So you want to get references. Also, you need to talk to them one on one to feel the chemistry, whether you two will work well together. If you don't work well together, there's no sense spending your money on somebody that won't help. All right. So that's rule number one.
Yeah.
Rule number two is create a notebook, maybe as big as thick as 3 inches, with 3 ring binder. Put all your court documentation, hole punch it, put it in there. Put all your test results from your drug tests in there. Put all your parenting classes certificates. Put all your program certificates. If you have to take domestic violence or a drug rehab program, whatever. Some of those take as long as 12 months. And then in that notebook, use dividers and divide everything and organize it so you can find what you have. Don't forget that incident time log, the one I told you use 3 sentences, 3 lines on a piece of notebook paper. You want to use the first line for the location or the phone number of the entity that you had the incident with, and then you want to put the date and time of the incident and the people involved. That goes to first line. The second line is a summary of what the incident was about, and the third line is the results of the incident. Results of the incident. Rule number 3 is you do not open the door to police or the social workers and CPS. You be quiet, say nothing. Yeah, after a period of time, then you go out and check to see if they left you a notice. Everybody has your phone number. Everybody has your uh, email address, and everybody has your mailing address. So there's other ways they can get a hold of you. You don't want to have confrontation with CPS or police because a lot of times they are bad, and you need your attorney present because he or she would tell you what to say or not say. So don't talk to them. If you happen to run into them on the outside in your yard, just say that, be respectful to them, give them your name, but tell them that you need to have a meeting with your attorney present. And your meeting should never be at their office or in your home. The meeting should be at Starbucks, the library, McDonald's, someplace that is in the public. Because when you're in public, you can record and document things.
Yeah.
So that's if you meet them outside. And watch the medical trafficking. They will, there are CPS workers that work in urgent care or in the emergency room at the hospital, and they overhear something, they'll step in and try to take your child away. Do not give them your child. Tell them they need to have a warrant before you take your children. If you're pregnant and you're going to have a baby, don't have them walk in your room and take your baby. Tell them to leave your room unless they have a warrant. And you're going to have hospital staff assist you. But they're notorious for taking children from pregnant ladies and notorious for taking a child from urgent care or the emergency room because you're trying to get your child help. So that's my rule number 3. Rule number 4 is it's very important that you arrange your words correctly to research on the internet. The internet has a vast wealth of information. You start off with the city, followed by the state, and then the letters CPS. And if you're from another country, put your country after the state, if you have states, and put the letters CPS. When you do that, a lot of things will pop up. If you want to refine your search, after the letter CPS, put down specifically what you're looking for in the child protection system, such as what is a JV 160? What is a JV 180? What is ICWA 1978? There's lots of things you can Google, but use that format of words and spend at least 60, 80 hours researching your case. Look at the background of judges. Look at the background of social workers. Look at the background of the social system, whether they've had complaints or reports. You need to do your homework. They are going to be an enemy. They're not your friend. So you got to research them and find out. So that's my rule number 4. And my last rule number 5 is make copies of important documents. Your marriage license if you're married, your birth certificates, your children's birth certificates. That's very important to see if the father is a presumed father. You want to make copies of your driver's license and social security cards of the kids and yours. All those copies you put in an envelope and keep with your notebook. They're important to show them. And it's important that you have those documents. If they have grade reports, make a copy of the grade reports. If they have medical ailments, make a copy of those reports. Keep all those copies in the envelope and have them prepared to show to them when they're talking about that topic, okay?
Okay, I have a question about one thing. When you said to get documentation of the drug test results, how would I go about requesting that?
Well, if you have them taken yourself from your medical health plan, your tests, the person doing the test will give you the results. If you let CPS test the results, okay, this is the problem is you let CPS, they're going to try to hide from you. You need to request that from the CPS worker. You need to say, I need copies of my drug tests. You're entitled to that because you got to make sure they're legit. So, your boyfriend and you need to have copies of those drug certificates, those drug tests, and you collect them and put them in your notebook.
Okay, and so the test I took yesterday was at the courthouse and the probation area. So would the caseworker have the result for that one as well?
Well, yeah. Now, why did you take it to courthouses? The courthouse now does medical testing?
Well, they have a different floor that does the drug testing for people on probation, but they also can do testing for other people if it's requested there.
Okay. So what you do, you go to that, you go there and ask for the results of the test. Okay.
Okay.
You're entitled to do that. And if they don't, you can ask the social workers for that.
Okay.
But be very simple with your questions and answers with social workers. It's either a yes, no answer and very specific question, okay?
Okay.
Now, I just had my person from South Africa come in. I got to say hello to Leica Hartzenberg. Hello there, Leica. Glad to see you. And there she says hello to her family here. She considers us a family. What's going on in the room is all okay. Well, I just got through talking to Cassandra from Pennsylvania, from Washington County near Pittsburgh. And she has a horrible case. And she must let her own be done. Don't do the ones of the CPS. She's talking about this, the CPS. You must do your own. It's very important with false accusations, and you do tests of your own. CPS will sometimes make mistakes. So if you're required a test, you make sure you contact your medical provider and ask for a drug test so you have something that can counter CPSs. Thank you, Leica, for sharing that. Now, all of you listening right now, I've gone way over my time. 8 minutes I've gone over my show time. I'm supposed to end at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, so I'm going to have to close down. Not that I don't want to, but I want to help you. But I am available to have a attorney. If you're interested in Mr. Davis representing you, then you call me at my number 626-698-0990, and I can help you with that. I'm on the phones from 8 in the morning to 10 o'clock in the morning. Then I do my live stream from 10 to 11, and then from 11 to 1 o'clock, I'm on the phones. So I have to say goodbye. Thank you, Leica, from South Africa. She's on the province in South Africa, and she's been one of the things. Thank you, Attendant I, from the Los Angeles, California, for coming in there. Derek Lyons is a 13-year-old that came into a room that is concerned about the way his dad hit him. And if it's severe, call 911, Derek. And then Colina is Colette, who's talking to me on the phone from. Oh wait, you're not. You didn't. Okay, Colina is someone from San Bernardino County. I'm sorry, and she says that her grandmother is foster caring the kids. But thank you, Colina, for calling in, and Alex, thank you very, very much for
Thank you for your help.
And stay in touch. I'm not a stranger. I'm on twice a day. So with that being said, God bless you all. I'll be on again tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's the West Coast of California. So have a great day. God bless you, and keep fighting for your kids. This is Bob Pace signing off.